Good afternoon, and welcome back to Marco's Jungle. It is me, Marco, your host, and today we're making a homemade coconut milk Zapote, also known as Mamey, smoothie. That's right, homemade coconut milk, not that silk almond stuff that you buy in the grocery store that is basically water and you convince yourself that it's good for you. Not that. Real homemade coconut milk. I broke open a coconut a little bigger than this. I took out the meat and I put it in the blender with some water, filtered it out, and now we have our coconut milk. Coconut milk is extremely high in saturated fats. Now, most people think that fat is unhealthy, it's not good for you, it causes cholesterol, but these are all just lies. And basically, it is good for you. Saturated fat is so good for you. It builds your brain. Your brain is mostly made of saturated fat, and it's so good for your brain. It's just everything about it. If your brain is made of it, well, it's probably good for your brain because it is. And not only that, but saturated fat and saturated fats are good for the production of hormones. For men, that's testosterone, as you should be familiar with, and for women, it's estrogen. Just hormones in general. And, so I recommend coconut milk. Whether you drink cow's milk or goat's milk, whatever it might be, just make sure it's natural. Try to make it yourself. Try to get it yourself. And if not, coconut milk is superb. So today we have this homemade coconut milk and we have our zapote. Now, coconut is also rich in other nutrients. It's really a superfood. But so is zapote, mamey. It's super high in vitamin B6, super high in copper. It's really, when I read that it was high in copper, I was like, wow. There's not too many things that are high in copper, and copper is super important. I don't know if you know this, but the cell, it kind of traps iron inside of it, and the mineral that is responsible for releasing the iron out of the cell is copper. And if you don't get that copper, well, then the iron stays inside the cell, and the cell essentially dies. So it's really important that you're making sure that you get copper. And actually, it's one of the most unknown things in the world of nutrition and science, that human beings need copper and really lack copper. So, copper, vitamin B6, it's loaded with so many things, like vitamin E. It's just, it really is extremely nutritious, and it tastes really good, mamey. It's actually native of this island where I currently live here in the Dominican Republic. So yeah, zapote and coconut milk, super simple. Make sure you wash your hands. Just, I'm a very hands-on person. Just make sure you're clean and throw it in there. Now we're gonna blend it up, and yeah, when we come back, we'll see the final product. And there it is. You've got your zapote coconut milk, completely homemade, 100% natural, 1000% nutritious, and it's ready to drink. So it's super refreshing, it's super healthy, and it's super good. So, yeah, nutrition, it's really important, and it's easy. It's actually fun, and it's definitely worth it, because now that I'm getting all of these saturated fats and all of these essential nutrients, my brain is going to produce the chemicals it needs to function, the neurotransmitters, the endorphins, the dopamine, the tyrosine, the tyrosine makes the dopamine. the tryptophan, the serotonin, you know, the calcium for my bones, you know, the magnesium to decalcify the calcium around my bones and joints. You know, I mean, everything has a rhyme and a reason. And when it comes to nutrients, it's the most important thing. I mean, it's like the top of my list because it's directly connected to our lives and how we live our lives and the quality of life that we have. I mean, nutrients are just so incredible and amazing and miraculous and important. So, Zapote coconut milkshake, anybody? Anyway, catch you next time on Marco's Jungle. Stay tuned. There's a link in the bio for a book on some nutrients for life, a book that I recently made. It's now on Amazon and Kindle. If you have a subscription to Kindle, it's free. If not, it's like, I don't remember, $5 or $10, something like that. Feel free to check it out. And there's a whole series of books on the way coming out for the 90 essential nutrients to life. So be sure to check those out. And any questions or concerns, comments, feel free to comment, subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. And remember, you can always book a consultation with me, one-on-one health consultation, where I guide you in specific foods and nutrients that you might be lacking within the food that you're eating. And it's more than just health. You know, it's all about energy. Once you start to develop these, once you get these nutrients and you start to generate this energy of life, that you start to build this creative energy of life, you know, it's important to manage that energy within your body. So, you know, the consultation also covers managing that energy, building that energy, transforming that energy, and moving that energy throughout the body and the mind, you know, to help you to become the best that you can possibly become today. So feel free to book a consultation. I'm looking forward to it. And see you next time on Marco's Jungle.